Hi there everybody, my name is Kate and welcome to my channel, Trenergy Awakens Naturally. Hopefully you can hear me. We're on our way to school. Yeah, I just started school yesterday or a couple of days ago after being out of school for a few years. So fast forward to why is that relevant? Well, it's not relevant except to me and the story as it relates to how you know when you are getting ready to go through a real remedial lesson and how you can identify someone who's just being an op and they're messing with you. We can always do remedial lessons. We can certainly always take the opportunity to learn. You know, it's just, do we want to learn that we already know 2 + 2 = 4? Or shall we move on to something more challenging? I'm into the more challenging things. I'll give you back your little Rubik's Cube from 1980 something. You can have that and let's go on to something else. But anyway, the difference, okay, between somebody just messing with you, you know, that you have the opportunity to turf that some other direction, like right back over there, or am I in the middle of a huge lesson? Well, how far would you like to take it? So school started the other day, and I'm older, obviously, and I don't have a problem with it. It's just, you know, it's been a minute, and because of my own anxiety and some processing difficulties I have with visual sometimes, being on the autistic spectrum, sometimes things don't look right, they don't sound right, it's not all coming together for me to adequately understand everything, like visually and verbally, and I've got instruction about where to go and pick something up, do that, grab this, right? Not a stupidity thing, thanks. I got over that butthurt long ago and then started being able to say, yeah, I understand you. I need you to answer this very clear question that I'm asking you, not repeat the same dumb information that you already gave me. I already didn't understand. You know, let me help you, help me by just please work with me and answer the questions and help me in the way that best suits me, because I'm not digging your style. It's not coming in here. And I'm definitely not digging when there's some dumbass overtone of superiority, and yeah, this is some dum-dum I'm dealing with. Cool. Well, fast forward again to I got to class and I didn't buy my books yet, so because, you know, I want to make sure I'm in the right one. And I go to the bookstore, and Colorado's got a beautiful grant right now paying for all kinds of beautiful schools, so it's on a grant. Well, cool. I want to make sure that the grant is paying for everything that I'm touching in this bookstore, and I'd already had some problems because the bookstore is laid out in just a visually not friendly way for Kate. Whether it works for somebody else, I don't know. All I know is this is not in alphabetical order. This is dumb. I was starting to get kind of irritable, and then I go over to the supplies and the equipment that I'm going to need, and they don't have anything but, you know, one option of this particular item and stuff like that, and I don't like that, you know. But I was starting to just feel the irritation, the agitation, and the buttholery getting ready to come up and grab me, because I was just feeling fussy. And then I get up to pay for everything, right? And this guy, that's where he's going. This man, he seems like he's approachable. He seems friendly, right? And I asked him for clarification about something that I left on the shelf that I just didn't want to bother with. Do I dare to waste my time evaluating the quality of this particular item that I need for my course? Maybe better to look elsewhere, etc. I mean, it was personal preference and stuff. And so I asked him, you know, a couple questions about whether or not they had other options, and he clearly either didn't want to answer, felt I was bothering him. It was a busy day, a lot of people, you know, customer, I guess, is not always right, you know, whatever, I don't know. All I know is I need clarification because it's not your class, it's mine, and I'm the one that has to finish this with the equipment that serves me best, and, you know, I'd like to know how this is going to work. And without saying all that, I just asked him the question. He was kind of notably irritable, and I went on, and he said, well, if you want to take the time, like, no, I don't want to take the time to go back. There's 12 people right behind me getting angry, you know, already, because we've all been waiting here forever, dude, because casting that rude toot a little bit to, you know, everyone got a piece of that. But so I said, no, I don't. I mean, I was as clear as possible, and I was getting irritated because this was an Agent Smith that was just looking to irritate a little bit. He was feeling challenged. He was feeling irritable. He was feeling whatever he was feeling, I'm assuming. He gave the appearance, and his behavior was letting me know that he wasn't all okay, because he was disrespectful right at that level of almost, what, except not quite, that slick shit that people can't quite own the fact that they're being a D-bag. They just want to kind of slick in and, shimmer and slimmer in real quick, like, yeah, okay. But I said, this is supposed to be on Colorado Grant, blah, blah, blah. Can you just double check before you bother to ring it up, Again, not looking to waste people's time. I'm all about efficiency. And I guess efficiency is best run with letting people run their dumbass agenda, even if it's slower than what I could do on my own. Let them do it. Have their little exert and squirt. I don't know if you can hear that, but my bad if you can. It's giving me directions to school, so pardon me. But it just let him have it, right? And he was having his little moments and okay. But it was just over the line. I said, can you look it up? And he asked for my student ID number. I gave it to him, said my name, and he said, it doesn't show your name. I said, okay. And he says, so sign the pad. And I said, I'm not paying for this outright. If you don't have my name, then I'm not buying this. I don't want this. I just said that. And he said, sign your name. Now, would you, as a reasonable person, you as an unreasonable person, for God's sakes, I mean, that's a pretty no-brainer. Like, did this dude just hear me? He was Agent Smithing, except not hardcore enough to actually put on the eyeglasses and the cool suit. He was schlepping in and schlumping in. Dumb. Sorry, I'm talking over that lady. Hopefully you can hear me. But he just kept, I said, what is the problem here? I said, I don't know what you're trying to say to me. I said, however, I just want to either know I have this paid for or not. And he said, I said your name doesn't show on that screen. So he's being Petty LaBelle like a mother, and I'm on the verge of being triggered. And I said, hold on a second. I said, look, I'm getting ready to get really frosty with you. I said, I already have been right up to the edge. I didn't say because you were being a D-bag. However, it's implied that, look, this is getting somewhere that's just, it's not worth it. I said, look, I didn't understand. It's not really working for me to understand, and it's not the clearest. It wasn't clear to me, owning all of it, right? It wasn't clear to me with your unclear communication. Left that part out, and as much of the passive-aggressive of that as I could to just say it wasn't clear. I said, I'm returning to school after a long time. I'm feeling overwhelmed in this store, and it's not clear to me what's happening, and I feel like, I got a little bit tight with you. I'm sorry. I said, I just really would like to ease this out with more grace. Is that okay? And he said, and I said, I just feel a little bit nervous, okay? And I said, so forgive my end of me being just a little bit of a horse's butt, okay? And
turn left on Voyager Parkway.
I hope you can hear that, otherwise you're wondering. It's giving me directions to my campus. But anyway, he says to me, he says, well, you have nothing to be nervous about. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And then he's overly, weird. Because I think he realized,
400 feet, turn left on Voyager Parkway.
Hush up. I said, I was putting it out there as much as I could with the finesse and cool professionalism and polite, courteous, Princess Diana demure that I possibly could. My demeanor shifting rapidly, dude, because I'm feeling overwhelmed. And when I feel that overwhelmment, a lot of times that autistic thing can really, really get in my way. That's where I run into some problems that I'll robot out and cuss you in a minute. Just like, no, I'm done playing with you, and, go off. And that is not acceptable behavior from an adult woman. It's not an acceptable behavior from anyone that's of mature age, okay? So I really was working to own my own garbage. But, I'm like, dude, it's a little late that now you're realizing kind of what a tool you were. And I don't need to punish this man. I don't need to do anything except recognize the lesson in it was, how remedial would you like to get with this? And then notate that when you just get honest with people, I was as honest as I could be without saying, look, fool, I'm having a hard time here. because it's not his responsibility, and I don't ever want to go into that victim state. So I wasn't stating anything victimizing. I was saying, look, I'm having a hard time processing what you're saying, and that doesn't need to be brought to the level of knowing that I have this disability thing. It's none of anybody's business, because whether or not I have an actual diagnosis, if a person doesn't understand what you're saying, man, they don't understand, and you're working in a customer relations application, then it might really help to have some sensitivity to the fact that you're not registering. You're coming in broken and dumb, real broken and stupid. I'm not tuning that, and I don't tune to stupid anymore. I already tried, I wasn't any good, and I got out of that business. And so it was frustrating, but it was also very relieving to just say, look, I'm feeling super frustrated. I'm agitated. I'm anxious. I'm back at school after a long time, being honest as I could in my presence of that. I didn't have to lay it all out there. However, what I did say is, look, I just, I'm sorry. And that's when he saw the vulnerability and realized, yeah, I was just kind of being a that. And yet he was embarrassed or something, I guess. I don't know. I didn't jump into, his whole thing to try to figure it out, because it was already like, ew, stop. Just give me my books and my supplies, and, I won't deal with you again later. I just won't. I don't need anything else from the bookstore. I'm sure I don't. That is so. Then he was just kind of backtracking with zero finesse. That's like, walking into a room to steal something, and you realize that the person is there, and you go, oh, and you're almost quietly gonna be able to get away with it, like you weren't really gonna be in there doing some shady shit, except that you knock over like a whole vase, and it's full of marbles and everything, and it makes a huge display. So now you both have to kind of realize that yeah, you went over somewhere where you didn't belong. It was just rude. So, and it's not a matter of hurting my feelings and all that cocky doodle that people will be happy to shove in your direction, my direction, about the sensitivity thing. People that tell me about others that are too sensitive, I'm happy to say, yeah, we're maybe wanting to look at the fact that others are way hella insensitive, and we have violence, on tap at any time, anywhere, any flavor, for any reason. So I'm pretty sure that I'm okay with saying, look, here's my vulnerability, and having learned the lesson before, not turn that into some remedial garbage where I'm going to let that vulnerability then be stomped on. The vulnerability is just announced as in, that's what's going on here. However, the naked, raw, and underbelly of me is not what was announcing that. That was the very protective part of me that, look, I'm having a hard time, and I've pulled myself together long enough to put this right here in a very high vibrational moment. But I'd advise you to not, be fucking around and finding out, what you've been doing. Oh, I've been fucking around finding out some things, I just don't want to play those games, I don't like to play those games. However, when other people do, okay, then I don't run all that. It wasn't a conscious thing happening in my head. It was a matter of, this man just, no, stop. And before you, Kate, go completely apeshit and cuss him out, which is a no-no, is absolutely, I'm not allowed to do that. It's an illustration, though, of just how much my human beingness, I'm a spiritual creature, sure, and I wrap my human all around my spirit, because I have to do that just like everybody else does. And my system was not dealing with the incompatibility and the inconsistency and the disorganization of things not being streamlined, because my mind was working on how it could be better, and I can't find it. And then I get some slow-ass person who wants me to slow even slower than, he's talking, to try to even understand this whole process of, what are you doing? You're doing Agent Smith badly, So anyway, and that sounds so harsh. It's just, that's what came to me, is that sometimes, spiritual people or spiritual teachers, spiritual practitioners, intuitives, empaths, light workers, chosen people, whomever we are, that we identify as being, working in that light and that high vibration. Yes, we have a baseline of some pretty, sweet stuff most of the time. However, we're human, and don't expect that you wouldn't get a little bit, turfed off in the get out of here, buzz off, because the new paradigm says that kind and loving is what we're bringing forward. However, we're meeting what you bring. You know, if you're bringing some sauce, then we're going to bring some sass with some sauce that's higher vibrational, and it's probably going to leave people feeling a little bit like, oh, because it's unkind. It puts the light and the mirror right there. But the lesson is learned long ago so that we are able to do that and not get back into remediation where we're trying to school other people up. I didn't have to do anything except hear my spirit saying, whoa, slow down, Katie Poo, because you're just right on the rails. You know, you're in a new situation, your anxiety's out there, you know, all those other things. So own all of this, you know, garbage that's yours. He can't be responsible for that. And then that squarely puts the turd right in the punch bowl where it belongs, which is not yours. You've scooped your little turd out and said, yeah, that's a punch bowl and it's got some stuff in it that just doesn't seem quite right. What would you like to do about that? And when people don't want to own their turds in punch bowls, or they're, you know, throwing turds in hiding hands and acting like it wasn't them, they might have a minute of real awkward silence and, well, yeah, his eyeballs freaked and he like went into a matrix glitch of some kind. And if I'd been watching the Matrix, I kind of would have expected Agent Smith would have exploded or something, because he kind of literally was like, yeah, you're used to doing that with young kids and stuff, probably, or vulnerable people, because it can be, you know, a situation where it just feels strange and awkward to be, you know, going back in. And that wasn't where my awkwardness is. However, I could see it in other people, that we're all here with our vulnerability, whatever it's rooted in. And this dude's like some gatekeeper troll who's just enjoying being able to kind of ride some, you know, weird sunshine every once in a while with it, you know, because it wasn't just me. It's not personal. It's a matter of, oh, okay, lessons and remedial education happens all day long. Which one do we want to do, Kate? Do we want to use this as a lesson out there further? That, oh yeah, that's what this is? Or do you want to actually do this dumbass class again and again and again? No, I don't. I had decided a long time ago. It's just, this is one more shade of, oh, that's what that looks like and smells like. So, it smells like Teen Spirit. So, yeah, anyway. So I hope that's helped, and that you have a beautiful day, whatever part of the day you're in. And remember, get within your skin, because you're divine. It is so absolutely fine. And when you find that part of you, you'll be able to very quickly learn. It's not an instant process. It takes time to build those skills, but that part of you already knows, man. Don't do stanky. Don't do anything less than, you know, a Princess Diana ethic. You know, what would Princess Diana do if that works for you? What would Jesus do if that works for you? I don't know. What would somebody with some class and some culture and some couth and some higher spiritual grounding and vision do if they were here with you? So, but you have that ability. We all do. Just really, when other people are showing you that, it may not be quite as mirroring in you as some of our leaders and spiritual practitioners and psychiatry and psychology and counseling and therapy. Some of it is. There's very much a contingency that absolutely is that. But sometimes that's more of a spiritual, hey, teacher, here's where you can use this in a more effective way, and be less of the student. The student needed to be going inside to hear the teacher inside. That guy, the only teacher that he was the teacher that said, hey, you know, your teacher's over there, which was right here. So take care of yourselves, as I said. Get inside. Enjoy being within your skin, because you're divine. It's so fine. Take care of yourselves, friends, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.